Good afternoon. Thank you all so much for coming. It is our pleasure to kick off this season of the Peninsula Youth Orchestra. First, I'd like to allow Nancy Petters, chairperson of our board, to give us a few words.
Good afternoon. I share Carol's sentiment in thanking you all for joining us here today. I'm actually thrilled because it might not have happened. This is Peninsula Youth Orchestra's 64th year, and it had many chances along the way, just like the American Theater here, our hosts, to not be here, not even be a part of our community. But thanks to all of you all, our community and the leaders that came before us, both the American Theater and PYO, under the auspices of Soundscapes, exists. So without further ado, I'll turn it back over to Carol Minter, and I'm so pleased to be a part of this afternoon, and thank you all so very much for joining us this afternoon.
Nancy is exactly right. It really is because of the community that we are here today. I have just a couple of folks that I would like to recognize. First of all, the community leaders who make Soundscapes and the Peninsula Youth Orchestra possible are our board of directors. I know we've got a couple of board members in attendance. Would you please stand and be recognized? Our Soundscapes board members. Thank you. And last but certainly not least, we are so fortunate to have, as for the second year in a row, Town Bank as our season sponsor for Peninsula Youth Orchestra. Town Bank is known for their generosity in the community, and it is because of their support of Soundscapes and specifically of the Peninsula Youth Orchestra that this season of performances is possible. I'd now like to welcome to the stage President of Town Bank, Alexis Swan.
Well, good afternoon. Happy holidays to everybody. It's wonderful to be here this afternoon to welcome you to the Peninsula Youth Orchestra's holiday concert. Town Bank is a long-standing partnership with the Peninsula Orchestra and Soundscapes, and we're honored to be here tonight. When Town Bank opened in 1999, the vision was not only to build a bank, but a hometown bank, but a community asset that would enhance the quality of life in the cities around. Since its founding in 1960, the Peninsula Youth Orchestra has given students the opportunity to make music, improve their skills, and work with professional musicians and artists. We are truly fortunate to have the Peninsula Youth Orchestra in our region. So Town Bank is proud to be a part of this. So thanks for letting us be here. Thanks for letting us show our support. Now sit back and enjoy the concert. Thank you.
Welcome, everybody, to our Peninsula Youth Orchestra December concert, our holiday concert, and it is such a pleasure to see all of you here and to share this time with you. It's a very special time, and it is a time when we get to spend time with family, but it is also a time when we have a little bit of space. Well, for musicians, it's usually like after the last 2 weeks, but we get a little bit of space so that we can kind of think about things and have a little bit of clarity in life. And when I was thinking about how I was going to program this portion of the concert, this particular two pieces, what I was really thinking about is kind of the calmness of a winter's night. And when I'm sure you all have felt this when you walk out, especially in January, February, when it's very crisp, and you look out into the sky and it's just dark, but you can see all of the stars, and there's this feeling of just this expansiveness that is around you that I just love. And for me, that the cold air, being able to breathe in, allows me some time to think and a time to reflect. And so I was trying to find two pieces that would highlight both our wind ensemble and our string orchestra, and in a way. And so what we did was we combined two different pieces so that we could create a mini piece called A Winter's Night. And so the first piece is Still, Still, Still. And the second, and that will be played by the wind ensemble. The second piece is Calm and Bright, and that will be played by a string orchestra. Also, along with the string orchestra, we have our percussionist, Wesley Benson, that will be narrating for us a poem that our program manager, Ron Boucher, wrote. And so we're excited to present these two pieces to you. Enjoy. Winter's Night.
In a world of turmoil, let there be peace on earth, where love and understanding find their sacred birth. Let it begin with me, a humble soul in this grand sea, a ripple of compassion spreading far and free. The peace that was meant to be a dream we all share, a world where every heart finds a love that's rare. United we shall stand, brothers and sisters, hand in hand. Let me walk with my brother under the sky so blue, in perfect harmony, our spirits renewed. Let peace begin with me, with a prayer and a plea, to bring forth a brighter tomorrow, let our hearts decree. Let this be the moment now where change takes its place. With every step I take, I'll walk with grace. Let this be my solemn vow, to heal and to see the beauty in diversity and the world in unity. To take each moment and live each moment hand in hand, in peace, let love expand. Let there be peace on earth for all eyes to see, and let it begin with me in love's grand decree.
I want to make sure that we trumpet on Caden, violin Chloe, San, Jillian on flute, and you also on flute as well, Raylan, and then Felix on clarinet. Let's give them a big hand.
Welcome back. Before we begin our second half of tonight's production, we have one more member of our community that we would like to recognize. Congressman Bobby Scott has joined us, and Congressman Scott is very important to both Soundscapes and Peninsula Youth Orchestra in particular. Congressman Scott has not only been a longtime supporter of both organizations when they were separate, and certainly now that they are combined and PYO is under the Soundscapes umbrella, Congressman Scott is also the reason that we have a significant amount of federal funding that is helping us to grow. So please help me to thank Congressman Scott for joining us this evening. And now let's get back to the wonderful holiday music.
Thank you so much. Before we play our last piece, you guys can go ahead and take a seat. Before we play our last piece, I just wanted to acknowledge a couple of folks that were up here before the performance ensemble. That ensemble, I have the pleasure of coaching every Wednesday. They meet with me over at the Soundscapes office, and the neat thing about that ensemble is they audition to come into that group, and it is a paid ensemble. So every Wednesday they rehearse with me for 2 hours. They are paid for that, and then they go out and they do gigs all across Peninsula. Last year, the performance ensemble did, I believe, 34 gigs last year. That's not including their time with performances with PYO or any of their other school performances. They are very, very, very busy folks. So let's just give them a big round of applause. As you can see, what I love about this year's orchestra is a mixture of the groups that we had last year, which was we had a string orchestra, we had a wind band, and then we had a symphony orchestra. The symphony orchestra was kind of made up of the most advanced players of the organization, and then the string orchestra and the wind ensemble were feeding up into that more advanced program. Last year, we made the decision that we were going to combine all of the groups so that they could have a chance to really play in a large orchestra like this. And this is very, very important for a musician's development, to be able to sit in a full orchestra with a full set of winds. This is not something that they will get at their school day music. They will play in wind ensemble or they'll play in string orchestra, but very rarely do they regularly get to play in a full orchestra. So I felt like this was something that Peninsula Youth Orchestra could really provide to all of our students and really have a huge effect on that. Speaking of full orchestras, we did have 3 members of our organization perform with the senior regional orchestra yesterday, and they did an amazing job. And from what I hear, they even pulled together a sleigh ride right at the end as an encore. But the big piece that they played at the end was Shostakovich 5, the 4th movement there. And that was really neat experience for that. So our concertmaster, Chloe Park, was there. Go ahead and take a stand there. Aiden Dreyer on viola made it in. And then Liam Barnstead. Oh, and Daniel was there too on oboe. Anyone else that I'm missing? Great job. Congratulations to all of you. All right, well, we're going to conclude the end of our program with a Vaughan Williams Christmas, and I think you're going to really enjoy it. Please have a safe and merry holiday season, and I look forward to working with all of them. And those of you that are parents, we do have rehearsal on Tuesday. There is no rest for the weary, but the reason is that in February 28th, make sure that you mark this. We are playing a side-by-side with our very own professional orchestra, the Virginia Symphony Orchestra. So they're going to get to play right next to those professional musicians, and we have a lot of music to learn, and that's why we're working hard. So enjoy this last piece, and have a happy holiday season.
Thank you.